Now, I don't know if any of you have worked at a bank, but the people who make the least money have the most important jobs at the bank. That's the people who are in the back office dealing with FX reconciliation or making sure your stock clears or all the different things. And so if you think about at a custodian of crypto in a TradFi bank, because now they want to get into doing custody because they see Coinbase making all this money from BlackRock and all these guys, and the regulations force you to custody with a third party. So why don't they force you to custody with Bony, BONY Mellon, or one of the standard people? So now you have all this crypto in these firms where the person who is probably the easiest to get hacked probably makes like $50,000-$60,000 a year, who's completely overworked, has no respect at work, and they don't give a fuck about internet security. It's not their money. If I'm going to hack crypto, I'm going after.
In a recent podcast of Coin Bureau, Arthur Hayes shares his crypto strategy for 2024, offering insights from his own portfolio. He discusses the success of Athena, a synthetic dollar stablecoin, and its impact on the crypto ecosystem. Hayes touches on the meme coin frenzy, predicting a Dogecoin ETF, and explores the potential effects of the U.S. elections on the crypto market. He warns of risks within the crypto space, particularly with centralized entities and custodial security. At the time of this discussion, Bitcoin is priced around $66,000, showing a 4% decrease in the past 24 hours and an 8% increase over the last 30 days. With a maximum supply of 21 million Bitcoins, the current amount of Bitcoin sold worldwide is 19.71 million, leaving about 1.2 million Bitcoins available. Before we dive into this interview, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it. Now let's listen to Arthur Hayes and his compelling insights in crypto.
One of these US custodians, one of these banks, who internet security is just like an afterthought. They have no clue what they're doing, because never have they had to custody an asset, or if they lose it, they don't get to call up the treasury or the Fed and get another bailout. You can't get bailed out of crypto because there's no one to call to create the Bitcoin out of thin air, or the Ether out of thin air, or whatever it is that you own on your balance sheet. So if I had to think about a risk, and this is sort of, a 2 to 3 year risk, given how I'm seeing things, change in terms of who is allowed to do what, and what's driving the market, I would say that a major crypto custodian gets hacked and they lose, $50-100 billion worth of crypto. That's how I can see this cycle ending. And on the derivative, on the options front, something that I kind of want to experience a little Schadenfreude is, so if viewers are familiar with zero-day options, which are the most popular traded instrument in the U.S. Funny enough, the CBOE resisted launching zero-day options for many years because they could not get to a point where they could real-time margin people who write options. Now, if you understand, when you write an option, especially a call option, you have infinite loss potential on the upside. So what did they do? Under immense pressure of the brokers who wanted to launch these products because they're immensely profitable from a retail perspective, they didn't do it. And so if you are an option writer, if you're a Citadel, a Virtu, one of these big market making firms, you post zero collateral intraday when you write zero-day options. Zero. They have no concept of intraday risk at CBOE. So imagine if you put a Bitcoin or an Ethereum ETF zero-day options on it, and Bitcoin spikes 50% a day because whatever, I don't know, something happens, and all these guys, and obviously the retail is going to be long volatility. The dealers are selling it to them at very expensive prices, but on this particular day, market gaps up and you get scorched on your Gamma and your Vega, and all of a sudden Citadel is down $30 billion, right? And they don't have it. And not only that, everybody else is down as well. And if you've dug into I have actually never released this essay, but I did a lot of research on all the major exchanges in the U.S. and their clearinghouses. They are woefully undercapitalized. It wouldn't take much to essentially bankrupt the entire U.S. financial system if they onboarded an asset that could move that they couldn't stop, which Bitcoin or some of these other assets. So that's another interesting risk in terms of a market event that could happen as we've integrated TradFi, which doesn't understand risk because they've never had to actually experience it because of central banks, and there are assets that are traded around the world that understand risk because they're essentially this long volatility instruments. So something interesting. They're not independent now. It's a whole.
That's the same thing.
Oh my God, the Fed is independent. Jerome Powell is impotent. He can't, even if he believes he's like the most powerful person in the world, Janet Yellen can do whatever the she wants. And yeah, Powell hasn't raised or cut rates, but Yellen can drain the Treasury general account by 800 billion with the stroke of a pen. You know, she can cut a bank off of Swift if she wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. Yeah, she's the most powerful person in the world, and her number one job is to get Joe Biden reelected. And so whatever, Powell and all the governors can write all these fancy papers over, Mariner Eccles building in New York, but the Treasury Department runs a show, and they always have run the show. And if you read some of the papers, that there's a recent paper by the Atlanta Fed on central bank FX swaps. And essentially, the paper was arguing that the Fed has always backed up international dollar borrowers ever since it was created in 1913. And it goes stepwise through every single incident where the Fed essentially printed money and handed it out to a foreign institution or a foreign branch of a bank. And the conclusion of the article was, we've been doing this for 100 years, so let's do it some more if we need to. There is no independent Fed. And that was written, I think, last month by the Atlanta Fed. Great paper. Highly recommend reading it. They're the same candidate. They're old idiots, both of them. And both of their parties that are behind them, they're the front people. And so they're going to stand behind them all the way because of all the goodies that flow with whoever's in charge, right? Whether it's Democrats or Republicans. And if you look at any sort of estimation by bipartisan outlets on the state of the deficit, it's not like it's one person's going to cut spending and run a balanced budget or surplus and the other is not. They're both saying, elect me and I'll give you free paid for by the other people that lost. That's the message. And so which one of those messages resonates better? I don't know. I don't give a what message resonates. I just know that they're both printing money, and therefore anything that was working today, whether it's big cap tech or crypto, is going to work after the election. Now, maybe there's going to be some volatility if you have some sort of civil war type scenarios or a dust up between either side, depending on what happens with sort of the Trump sentencing, if he's in jail, he's not in jail, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I think that's not really going to be meaningful at the end of the day, and one of them will be elected. And even if it's a Republican president, Democrat, House and Senate, or vice versa, think about the things that both parties vote on together every single time. Weapons, right? Ukraine, Iran, Israel, every time there's ever an ask for, we need more money to give to the American defense companies to bomb more people, everybody lines up and says, yes, please more. And so if you look at the breakdown of the biggest expenditures of the US government, apart from healthcare interest expense, it's veterans payments and defense. So it's war. The American economy is geared to kill people, and both political parties are happy to kill people as long as their stocks go up. And so again, it's the same thing, same party. Depend which clown do you like better. So I don't really care. It's fun to watch.
We've just heard Arthur Hayes discuss his concerns about potential risks in the United States, focusing on the security of banks and their vulnerabilities. Hayes pointed out that centralized entities in the crypto space, particularly custodians of large amounts of crypto, could be major targets for hackers, posing significant risks to the market. Hayes also shared his views on meme coins, specifically Dogecoin. He believes that meme coins, with their strong cultural appeal, are here to stay, and predicts that Dogecoin might even get its own ETF before the end of the cycle due to its widespread recognition and popularity. Additionally, Arthur highlighted Athena, a synthetic dollar stablecoin designed to compete with major stablecoins like Tether and USDC. Now, let's dive back into this discussion and hear more from Arthur Hayes.
Strategy, be long. Don't sell. Don't get shook. Don't use too much leverage. It's pretty simple. Like, everyone knows what they should be doing. Obviously, we all never do it because it's fun to YOLO some bullshit. But at the end of the day, it's very, very simple. If you believe that central banks and governments are in debt, will continue to be in debt, will continue to print money, will continue to hand out welfare to buy votes or support from the population at large, then crypto is the answer. Obviously, Bitcoin's the OG thing, and I own a lot of Bitcoin. And then as you move up the risk curve and hopefully up the potential return curve as well, then you get into the coin space. Obviously, the standout thing for Maelstrom, my family office this year, has been Athena in terms of
Mhm.
how amazing Guy and his team have executed on this vision of creating a synthetic dollar and displacing Tether at USDC. I think that Athena now sits at about 3 billion ish circulation, which puts it the number fourth largest, if you want to call it, US dollar stablecoin or out there. And I think that that is probably our best thing that we've done as a fund this cycle. And I think that we're only getting started in terms of the impact that Athena is going to have on the ecosystem. And then probably number two would probably be something called like EtherFi and the whole liquid restaking token ecosystem. Obviously, EigenLayer is going live later this year. We have a bunch of other plays in that sort of vertical as well. So I would say those are the two things that are standout highlights for our portfolio so far this cycle. You know, the reason why I know that meme coins are here to stay and are going to get even crazier as there's more money printed is, so I'm in Singapore a lot, and it's a small place and a very homogenous society between the major ethnicities. And every time I walk down Orchard Road to the shopping district to do some errands, I walk by the Chanel store, LV, Gucci, whatever, all the the mainstream big brands. There is always a line of local Singaporeans standing in line to buy whatever piece of alphabet that they want to put on their body for like thousands of Sing dollars, and they're literally standing in line, 15, 20 deep, waiting to get in this store to blow probably their whole paycheck for a few months. And they continue to do this over and over and over and over again. So if people are willing to spend in line to, buy cowhide with L and V tattooed on it, then they're certainly going to sit on their computer and the internet and trade whatever the meme coin is that's hot this cycle, because you don't have to understand anything about crypto, just like you don't have to understand anything about fashion. Everybody else likes it. I like it too. Very, very human. So I think meme coins are here to stay for the person who's just being initiated into crypto. It's like literally the easiest thing to understand. Oh yeah, that's a cool image. That's a really funny joke that I understand, and everyone else is in on the joke, and I can make money as the joke gains in virality. Okay, cool. I'll buy this meme coin. I don't need to understand blockchain and AI and crypto and cryptography and all the stuff that is predicated on why these things can exist on a blockchain and trade 24/7 on a decentralized exchange. I don't have to understand any of that. I just have to understand, is this a cool cultural trend or not? And I'm already doing that in my normie life in the IRL space when I go buy one of these expensive brands and stand in line for hours to, put some logos on my chest. So I think just, observing the behavior of humans, just, why Arnault is, what is he, the wealthiest man in the world? And if you look down the list of the wealthiest people, like a good percentage of them own luxury brands. Meme coins are the luxury brand of crypto. It's easier to even get in because you don't have to wait in line. Just assuming that the Solana blockchain works, but all that being said, then yeah, you can ape into these things on your preferred decentralized exchange. Hopefully, you do it on Drift, one of my portfolio companies. So I also don't have the attention to spend on which particular doggy coin is the hottest one. I own some with Dogecoin as well. I think Dogecoin is going to get an ETF by the end of the cycle, just because.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Oh,
because it
really?
should do.
And
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's the oldest
Wow.
meme coin. It's on Robinhood in the US. Like, if you're thinking about, TradFi getting into crypto and they're going to put an ETF in anything they can, it's a high market cap thing. It's been around for a while. It's like the original meme coin joke. I mean, Palmer rage quit from crypto, even though he created this like amazingly hilarious thing. So yeah, I think Doge gets an ETF before the end of the cycle. Oh, meme coin narratives. I think a lot of meme coins are too specific, and like some of the political ones, yeah, they're funny for a minute, but they don't have any lasting cultural value. Like, what happens if Biden dies, right? Statistically speaking, he has a 7 or 8% chance of dying in the next 12 months. Same with Trump, right? So I'll put this out there on this particular venue, and I'll qualify it with more information probably later this summer once I get back in the swing of things. Aptos flips Solana in the Layer Run game. I'll put that out there. I'm not going to say any more than that.
To wrap up this insightful episode, Arthur Hayes shared his compelling insights on the future of crypto. His discussion highlighted the potential for Dogecoin to become an ETF and the significance of synthetic dollar stablecoins like Athena. Hayes emphasized the cultural appeal of meme coins and the critical role of security in the crypto space, offering a comprehensive view of the market dynamics for 2024. We'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Do you see Dogecoin potentially becoming an ETF by the end of this year? What are your views on the future of synthetic dollar stablecoins like Athena in the crypto ecosystem? Thank you for tuning into Only the Savvy. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it. Stay connected for more insightful content exploring the innovative world of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. We have more exciting discussions lined up, so stay tuned.